Hello, it's Sharon from Accidental Art Maker. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Congratulations on getting Bella or Bea, depending on where you're from. This stamp has a million possibilities to it. Enjoy. Congratulations. When you buy any new stamp from IOD, you need to prepare it, and you do that by sanding it, first one direction and then another, with a very light grit sandpaper. I am using IOD green ink, also known as Newgrass Pink. I have to check that to make 100% sure, but green for sure. After you ink your ink pad and soak it up with lots of ink, then it's time to start stamping. So you want to gently press down. You don't want to press hard. It's a light stamp, and you're making sure as you pitter patter over the stamp that you're lightly getting ink on it. Much better to go light than to go hard. So don't be afraid to test out on paper first before you commit to a surface that you've painted or will be hard to retract an ink stamp from. Here you can see me holding down my ink stamp with one hand and pressing hard with the other. You want to be sure not to smudge your stamp, because that will smudge the ink all over the place, and you don't want that. Okay, so stick with me here. I'm going to be stamping for the next few minutes. It may seem kind of boring, but let's talk a little bit about layers. One of my favorite things to bring into pieces that I'm working on. So here you've got the chalk paint background. There's the blended green into pinkish into blue. Generally, I break up the background with 3 colors, and I don't usually have the middle color right on the horizon line like I do here. I don't know what was going on. It just kind of went with it. It seemed right. So I've got those 3 colors blended. The next layer is the stamps that you see me putting on here, and I'm using ink. I'm using a different medium than chalk paint. It makes it stand out a bit more. The green on the bottom and soon the blue on the top gives it another layer, which makes it multimedia feeling and brings more depth and dimension to what you're seeing going on here. Stay tuned. Okay, not multimedia or whatever I was saying, multi-layers, multi-dimension. Let's bring some depth into this artwork that we have here. Let's bring different shapes, different colors, different ways of bringing color to our art. It makes a difference when you start adding all the layers up, as you'll see here soon. Okay, so here I'm picking up a small thin mount. It's actually one of the larger IOD thin mounts, and I've cut it into smaller pieces. It's easier to manipulate than freehand. Freehanding a stamp is what you saw me doing on that other level, the green level, where I'm just picking up the stamp and flopping it over. Here I'm using a thin mount. I've got my stamp on it. It's much easier for me to manipulate this stamp with a thin mount attached to it. Okay, remember when I was talking about layers? Well, here's our next layer. It is a watered down white chalk paint. So I have chalk paint, added a good amount of water to it so that the chalk, when I roll it on top of the stamp, kind of beats up a little bit. It's not a solid white at all. I want something to be see-through and transparent to the next level down because layers. Okay, I'm really loving the way that this is turning out, but there's definitely some gaps, some spaces that just don't feel right. Don't know what the technical art term is for it. So here you see me taking one of my stamps and just kind of filling into those gaps where it doesn't feel right and stamping with a little bit more white. Thanks so much for watching my video. I hope you've enjoyed it and gotten a few new things along the way about stamping and learned about the Bella stamp, or the Bea stamp. I used to know a little girl named Bea, so that's why I'm saying Bea. Anyways, yeah, enjoy stamping. It's relaxing, it's meditative. Just kind of go with the flow and what feels right. It's really hard to go wrong with too much stamp.